My name's Clint. I'm a Chief SASE Evangelist at Versa. I'm with my partner in crime, Buyan. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Buyan.
Hi, this is Buyan. I work as a system engineer for Versa.
Super. So today we're going to talk about why unified SASE is the to-be state for large retail. This is certainly our opinion. So agenda-wise, we're going to go through, why we believe this is the to-be state for most large retailers. Give you a technical briefing on Versa SASE. We're going to kind of go through Versa SSE, how we unify SSE and SD-WAN into unified SASE, and then go through Versa SD-WAN. That'll be technical in nature. Then we're going to look at competitive landscape for large retail, and then answer your questions. And then Buyan also has a demo that we're going to go through briefly. So a couple notes. We are going to focus on the technical solution and minimize marketing slides. We encourage questions and comment. They need to come in via the chat. Unfortunately, you can't speak during this webinar, which is a miss on our part. And then after the meeting, we will email you a PDF copy of this presentation and the meeting recording. So what is SASE? SASE is the modern, agile SD-WAN, and SD-WAN is the modern WAN. And then SSE is security service edge. And for most enterprises, more and more functions are moving from an on-prem perimeter security solution to an SSE solution. Think of SSE as almost a cloud firewall or cloud work from anywhere. It's actually both. So SASE secures the enterprise and ensures the best user experience and the lowest latency connection from your stores to SaaS applications and the internet. So Versa does view unified SASE as the to-be state for most large retailers. And what are the outcomes of transforming to unified SASE? So we view this as a radical simplification of network and security for the stores. We're going to move almost all firewall functions to the cloud, that is SSE. There's still some minimal security required in the stores, but more and more functions are moving to the cloud. And we want to get out of managing all these firewall appliances, both in the data center and in the stores. We want to migrate to just managing security policies in a cloud firewall solution. We want to enable new powerful security capabilities for the stores. We really want to help with a massive consolidation of a variety of point security solutions and point networking solutions. We want to do all this without increasing costs, even as we move more security functions to a cloud-delivered managed service. So jumping into Versa SSE first. So Versa SSE delivers all the things in this, this box. So we can send untrusted store traffic, untrusted enterprise traffic, and work from anywhere traffic to Versa SSE, and we'll apply all these functions to that traffic. This includes zero trust network access, SWIG, cloud firewall, CASB, DLP, UBA, advanced threat protection. And these gateways are SD-WAN savvy. They can participate in a Versa SD-WAN overlay. And this solution also supports digital experience monitoring of all these in this state. And we can have, legacy store routers, Versa SD-WAN devices in the store, or the Versa software client. And then at a high level, we have 90 of these cloud gateways globally. These are close to your stores, close to your users. We do have gateways available in China today. So if you have any branches or stores in China, we can help them get onto the Versa SASE solution. We do have software clients for all the major operating systems for work from anywhere. We do support always on, and the Versa SASE client can connect to different networks. So maybe your network, et cetera. And we support validating the endpoint protection is installed, up to date, and turned on. And we can authenticate users off all the major authentication provider solutions. And then in terms of how we source threat intelligence, so Versa partners with leading threat intelligence providers for zero-day protection. So we have partners for antivirus, zero-day feeds, IPS threat feeds, URL and IP feeds, malware lookup, DNS feed, geo feed. So based on all of this, we can secure the stores and work from anywhere. And this is just a quick review of Versa SSE by Cyber Ratings, who ranks the solution very high. And we'll once again send this out in the follow-up. And then in terms of security effectiveness, Cyber Ratings ranks Versa #3 of all firewall vendors. So they rank Palo Alto and Fortinet 1 and 2, and Versa #3. So we're really proud of this. And in terms of peer reviews, this is, the review of Versa SSE by your peers. So we are the highest rated by our customers of any SSE solution. And then looking at how does Versa unify SASE, because every major vendor now offers a single vendor SASE solution. But what we've done, we feel is very different than our competition. So these Versa SSE gateways, these can either be shared gateways or private to a large retailer, can participate in a Versa SD-WAN overlay. So very elegant integration of SD-WAN and SSE. The stored appliances are automatically connected to the nearest primary and secondary gateway. And the branch devices, in the branch device, we can easily define the store policy for which traffic goes to the gateways, which traffic goes to the internet bypassing the gateways, like maybe MS Teams, and then what traffic goes across the SD-WAN to the data center or Azure or AWS. And because it is Versa SD-WAN on both the store and the gateway, we can do SD-WAN magic, like forward error correction or packet cloning or traffic steering or all the above. So if you do have stores that are using lossy transports like LTE or 5G or Starlink, we can still do all that Versa SD-WAN magic from the gateway, from the store device to the gateway. And then legacy store routers. So if you have older, Meraki devices, Cisco devices, other vendors' SD-WAN devices, they can still participate in this. We can build IPsec tunnels from these devices to primary and secondary gateways. It's a little more work, but it's absolutely possible. The SASE gateways can also be used for secure work from anywhere. And the Versa SASE can be used for both the corporate estate and the store's estate. And we can define different security policies for store traffic and corporate traffic. And we have unit SASE management. We have a single pane of glass for managing firewall, SSE, and SD-WAN. So we have common data plane, control plane, management plane, application ID, data like API access. So this is where Versa is very differentiated from our competitors, most of whom have acquired an SD-WAN solution, have now bolted those two solutions together. They don't get this level of unification. And then we also deliver maximum flexibility for large retail. So one, we support shared gateways like everyone else. But a lot of our retail customers love these private gateways. So we're now deploying private gateways for one large retailer with 2,000 stores, one for Eastern US, one for Central US, one for Western US, that are dedicated just to them, but they're managed by Versa, and we give them very generous bandwidth allowances. And then in the store device, we can have the store device either be a very simple SD-WAN device and an on-ramp to Versa SSE, or that can be a full-blown SD-WAN device, full-blown firewall. So many times, there's a swing from on-prem to cloud and cloud to on-prem. And because the Versa SD-WAN device is a powerful firewall, if you want to enforce security policy in the store, you can. If you prefer to enforce security policy in the SSE solution, you can. And you can swing back and forth or do a combination of both. So because our SD-WAN solution includes this powerful firewall, this is another major differentiation from most SD-WAN vendors who really just do a network function, not a modern firewall function. And then Versa integrates into a modern enterprise ecosystem. And in terms of multi-tenancy, this, as enterprises move towards SSE, ideally we want to have a single SSE solution supporting the corporate network, the stores network, maybe an operational network, maybe a guest network. we really want to get away from having multiple SSE solutions, but there are frequently very different security and networking requirements for each of these distinct networks. So in the Versa solution, as we create new tenants for each one of those networks, corporate, stores, OT, they get their own network policy, their own security policy, their own SD-WAN overlay, their own SD-WAN keys, etc. So we're giving enterprises the most complete multi-tenancy in SASE of any vendor available. And this is just a quick slide that Gartner ranks Versa #1 for SASE when the enterprise has lots of sites. And that SASE solution also supports DEM. So we deploy this Versa software client on work from anywhere machines, or maybe manager machines in the store. We get clear visibility into the user experience. Is it positive or is it negative? If there's a problem with a given user, we can identify what the source of the problem is. Is it their laptop? Is it the Wi-Fi? Is it the SD-WAN device? Is it the transport? Is it the SSE gateway? Is it the application? In addition, this can score all your mission critical applications, which ones are healthy and which ones are unhealthy. So this is also an entitlement in our SASE solution. And then looking at SD-WAN, so the other component of SASE is SD-WAN. And Versa has been a leader in this space for the past 10 years with a very mature and very robust solution. So this is a critical element of SASE. It's half of SASE. So this Versa device can either be a super simple on-ramp to Versa SSE or a robust secure SD-WAN device. It's the same hardware, same software, but you can make it either very lightweight or very heavyweight depending on your needs. This is a low-cost, zero-touch appliance, and this can meet mission-critical SLAs. This can be once an on-ramp to Versa SSE, a modern perimeter firewall, a robust SD-WAN router, a zero-trust enforcement point, and the device is also multi-tenant. So if you want to have distinct networks for corporate, stores, and guest, we can extend that multi-tenancy not just on the gateways, but out to every single device in the store, with, once again, different network and security policies for each of those discrete networks. And then in terms of capabilities, I don't want to go through this entire slide, but suffice to say that Versa has a very robust, very mature SD-WAN device. You can get it with built-in 5G, 2 built-in LTE modems, built-in Wi-Fi, a modern, SD-WAN feature set. You can deploy virtual devices and all the major cloud platforms, Azure, AWS, Equinix, GCP, with typically very mature integrations and very high performance. These can be acquired with a built-in GPS. You can identify the location of the device. The device can also support grouping of ports into a layer 2 port group. So if you want to try and eliminate maybe the switch in the store, we do support layer 2 port grouping. And then once again, the device does have a full-blown firewall. So if you want to apply security policy in the store, you can. And for enterprises adopting Versa for both SD-WAN and SSE, it's easy for Versa to make commercial concessions on this firewall that's in the store because the customer's paying for the SSE gateway already. So we can make the store license very cost effective, yet give the enterprise a very rich set of entitlements in that device. And then Gartner ranks Versa the #1 SD-WAN solution for large global enterprise. And then for deploying this branch solution, we have our own appliances, small, medium, large. Dell also has a family of appliances that ship image for Versa, boot up as a Versa device. We can also deploy Versa in all the major public clouds. So if you want to, connect your stores into Azure, AWS, GCP, Equinix, we can put virtual Versa devices there so they can go from the store across the overlay to multi-cloud. If you are doing a virtualized edge in the store, Versa can be a VM on your favorite hypervisor. So this gives enterprises choice in appliances. You can run the same Versa software in stores, hubs, AWS, Azure, and our SSE gateways at its core are running the same Versa operating system. You can scale this Versa data plane from a small appliance in the store to a hub, to AWS, to Azure, to 100 gigabit. And here's a look at the store appliances. So CSG 150 is brand new. This is an extremely inexpensive appliance for stores. If you want more of an on-ramp to Versa SSE and just do SD-WAN functions, this drives the price of the store appliance extremely low. The CSG 350 is available with 1 or 2 built-in LT radios. So we see more retailers using, internet as primary transport and 4G or 5G as secondary transport. We're even seeing some people use 2 LT radios for some stores where they're having challenges getting wired broadband to the store. The CSG 770 adds support for 5G, if that's interesting. And then the 1300 adds support for up to 8 PoE ports. So we can actually power some access points in the store. On the right, you can see the performance of each of these appliances. So pretty high performance, even on the entry-level appliance. And then for hub and kind of core firewall use cases, the CSG 1300 is great for this use case. 1500 gives us more performance, 2500 more performance, and then 5000 more performance. So these might be typical hubs back in your data center to aggregate for the data center and headquarters locations. And then I wanted to kind of be transparent about how we view the competition. So in the Versa solution, we've unified SD-WAN and SSE into a unified solution, common data plane, control plane, management plane, APIs, data lake, etc. If you look at our friends at Palo Alto, they have Prisma Access, but they acquired CloudGenix for SD-WAN. So these are two different solutions, different data planes, different management tools, different APIs, different data lakes for each one. Netskope acquired Infineon for SD-WAN. So once again, 2 solutions connected together. Zscaler has an SSE on-ramp, so you can plop a widget in your branches, and it can send all traffic to Zscaler. But really, it's not an SD-WAN device. It's not a networking device. It's not a firewall device. And then Cisco could either do the Viptela solution in the store or the Meraki solution in the store. But this, again, is still 2 discrete solutions, multiple panes of glass, not integrated. And then Fortinet does have both SD-WAN and SSE, but it very much is 2 solutions bolted together. And we think if you look at commercials, the Versa solution should also be dramatically less expensive than most of these competitive offerings. And that's one of the keys to stores. So there's certainly the desire to move more security functions to the cloud, but we can't do that dramatically the security spend per store. So by using Versa for both SD-WAN and SSE, we believe we can keep your cost the same or maybe lower it from your as-is state. So kind of in summary, this, how is Versa Unified SASE different for large retail? It's a unified solution. Common data plane, control plane, management plane, data lake, API access. This is not 2 different solutions bolted together with a single logo. We deliver maximum SASE flexibility, so shared or private gateways. And then we can also enforce security policy either at the store or the SASE gateway. We have the most elegant SD-WAN to SSE integration. We believe we have the most mature SASE solution for large retail. It scales very well for large retail. And the most powerful multi-tenancy to segment between the stores network, the corporate network, the OT network, and the guest network. And then we offer very attractive entitlements and disruptive licensing for enterprises that adopt Versa for both SSE and SD-WAN. And we'd welcome the opportunity to put a commercial proposal in front of you and have you try this solution out. That's what I had for slides. Booyan, do you have a demo you want to share?
Yes, we can go into the demo. 1 second.
Great. I will give you the floor.
Thank you. You can see my screen.
I can.
Okay, welcome guys. This is the Versa Concerto EY, what you're seeing on your screen right now. So this is a fully multi-tenant orchestrator for all Versa services. So basically, you can deploy these on-prem, like in your local data center, or you can deploy these in the cloud, or Versa can host this for you, and you can use this as a SaaS type of offering from Versa with strict SLA and all of that. So this is the primary UI, like I said, for configuration of both SASE and SD-WAN, SSE and SD-WAN, however you put it. And it also is multi-tenant. So basically, it can host however many tenants you want, and then you can switch around tenants as needed. Um, so this concerted UI is basically orchestrating all the configuration that you have for your different store locations and your SASE gateway. And this is also the same place from where you can monitor, manage, and report on your environment. So this is a single pane of glass with both configuration, reporting, management, and monitoring. So basically, just I'll go over a quick, uh, look at the configuration, how we configure SASE and secure SD-WAN. So basically, on the configuration tab, there's two panes, one for secure services edge and or SSE, and the other is for secure SD-WAN. And basically, you can switch between secure SD-WAN and SSE from this location. And if you look at the deployment, you'll see that all your branches, hubs, and secure gateways will be all unified across um, your real estate, right? So basically, the hubs will show up here, and then all your branches. Like I have two branches here, which is Unified Branch X and Unified Branch. So these two branches are showing up here, and then these are my gateways. So basically, the what you call the SASE gateways will show up as hubs in your environment. And this is a single fabric between all the branches and the SASE gateways. So basically, you can send traffic from your branch to the SASE gateway or any other location that you want. So this is the SASE configuration pane. So basically, we have different secure um, services available from here. So under SWIG, we have URL filtering, DNS filtering, IPS, IP filtering, all of these. And then we also have DLP, which is our own DLP implementation. So this is very robust and features all of the DLP um, capabilities that you might want. So you can define your own patterns. You can use the built-in patterns and things like that. We also support CASB, RBI, and ATP, which is like advanced threat protection. So all of these profiles are basically created to uh, configure the security functions. And then on the rule side, you basically create rules that are, let me open this one up. So basically here, you can point to any source zone in the rule. And here, once we point to SD-WAN zone, that means any traffic that is coming from your store locations. And, you know, um, and then similarly, we also have Versa client zone, which is basically the zone that is all your VSA soft client that is running on user PCs or Macs or handheld device or whatnot. So basically, the idea is you identify the traffic on this rule, and then you apply the security enforcement over here, which can be any of these things, right? So it can be malware protection, URL filtering, easy IPS, DNS filtering, IP filtering, whatever that you need to um, basically make the traffic go through before you allow it in the network. So that's a quick overview of SSE. And then on the security SD-WAN side, um, we can configure profiles here. So this is basically all template driven. So you basically define the what you call the profile that you want for your store location or your office location, and then basically apply these profiles to the specific site or device that you want to configure. And this is all versioned and API driven also. So basically, the full sets of APIs that we support can be referenced from the uh, uh, system itself. So this API documentation also supports Swagger, so you can basically try out the APIs before you write some automated integration that talks to the console to you and then makes things happen. So basically, in these profiles, we have sub profiles, and these sub profiles are basically listing what you want on the device level, what you want on the topology level, and we support all sorts of topologies. So you can have full mesh, you can have hub and spoke, you can have hub and spoke um, direct, or you can have spoke to spoke via hub, or spoke to spoke direct. So all of these different topologies are basically supported in this system. Um, and then you can have, different application network services and other, what you call um, services attached to the device profile. And this is all role-based access control also. So basically, depending on I'm logged in as an administrator, so I'll see everything, but you can use our robust RPEX systems to basically allow access for users as much as you want. And then let me just show you the uh, analytics engine. So basically, all traffic that is traversing through Versa Unified SASE, you can turn on logging for these services, and then basically all the logs comes to our analytics system, and this has dashboard type of uh, data level views on what is going on in your network in one single pane, and then also you can have logging going on for specific traffic that you want. And then you can also forward these logs to your SIEM or for your SOC people to look at. So that's all driven from this analytics uh, engine. I think we're at time, Clint.
Yeah, so great job, Booyan. That was awesome. So I know you're working on a project with a major retail right now to do exactly this.
Mhm.
So as they start to do this, what do you view that the kind of outcomes of their transformation being? I mean, you're familiar with their kind of legacy state for the store and how they did firewalls before.
Right.
As they do this transformation, what do you see the outcomes being for them?
So I see huge OPEX and CAPEX savings. That's the first thing, because instead of having different portfolios of services at the store from different vendors and different boxes, right? You have a massive consolidation of equipment. So Versa can support layer 2, layer 3. It can also support UTM next-gen firewall right on the store, and then the SSE gateway part for advanced cloud services, right? Like RBI, CASB, DLP. So basically, what will happen is you save a lot of money at the store level, and it multiplies pretty quickly, right? So since take a simple use case where there's a use for L2 services, right? So you don't need a specific external switch to do L2 with Versa. Any Versa box can provide L2 services. So that saves a lot of money for people who are trying to consolidate equipment, right? And then you have the onboard next-gen firewall UTM right on the branch SD-WAN device. And as you know, we don't actually what you call ship any box without firewall, right? Whether you use it or not, the Versa firewall is always sitting there. So once you turn that firewall on, then basically you don't need an external firewall um, at the store level, right? You can use the onboard Versa firewall, and that saves money on firewall deployment across your environment, right? And then it is all consolidated into a single user, a single pane of glass, right? It's the Versa Concerto, and then that saves you a lot of operational headaches also, right? And then all the logs and configuration is driven from the same place, so it's a huge consolidation of operational efficiency.
So you think that as they might add,
Mhm,
go to Versa for the WAN edge
mhm.
and Versa for SE, which is the cloud delivered
Right.
firewall service. You think typically if you go to a managed service or firewall, the cost might go up,
Mhm.
but you think the cost will go down.
Yeah, definitely the cost will go down because you are utilizing the same software across all your different border areas, right? So the internet border is on the SSE gateway, and the store level you have the security perimeter for your stores, right? So all of this is driven from the same EY, so you can basically have the same unified policy everywhere, right? So the Versa store firewall configuration and the SSE configuration can work in tandem, right? So the cloud services you deliver from the cloud gateways, and on-prem firewall basically works as a bigger sieve, or like a firewalling for east-west traffic, or traffic that is going to your data center, or um, so if you have some IoT devices, we can also fingerprint all the IoT devices that you might have on the store, and apply security policy right on the store level, by identifying the IoT devices that are sitting behind the Versa device, right? So it massively simplifies your security architecture.
Cool. That's useful. And then if the cyber team's thinking, I really don't want to manage 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 firewalls. That's
Right.
too onerous. I want to use the SSE solution as much as possible.
Mhm.
What do you want to have as a minimal security policy on the store device? Where's your head at there?
Yeah, I mean, what I would do is, because the AC gateway is mostly, facing the internet, right? So for traffic that is bound for internet, definitely send that across to the ACC gateway, and then you can apply all these different, security functions like ATP, RBI, CASB, DLP to basically secure your internet-bound traffic, right? As we move more to the cloud, even internal applications are moving to the cloud, right? And they are accessed via the internet. So given that reality, having a robust cloud-based firewall is, I think, mandatory for all customers by this time, right? Because previously, going back 10 years, most of your workloads were living in the data center. So you'd have firewall at the data center level to basically protect your applications in the data center. But today, given the reality of cloud, most of the applications, even internal applications, are moving to the cloud, and users are accessing those applications from their laptops, or from their servers that are hosted in the internet, quote unquote, right? So even if your applications are hosted in, say, AWS, and you have some direct connect or some private mechanism to get to those applications, we can play nicely with that. We can even deploy Versa branches in the AWS or Azure or OCI or whatever cloud you name, and then basically it will be a unified SASE fabric that you have across your store, your cloud workloads, and your you know um, uh, whatever remote user might be out there, right?
Cool. And then, there's a lot of folks on the call that have, current firewalls in the store, maybe Meraki MX devices in all the stores.
Mhm.
If they were to pivot from Meraki MX in the store and to this solution of Versa SD-WAN in the store and Versa SSE gateways, do you think they're going to get improved security posture?
Of course, definitely, right? So because our security solution is a full-blown UTM, even at the store level, right? These advanced cloud services are living in the cloud, but um, you can do firewalling in both places, right? So as we say, we should have multiple layers of defense. So we can have store policy and then gateway policy to basically get the traffic, go through two security gates, right, before you kind of allow that traffic through or let it in.
Mhm. And then for the folks that are saying, hey, this sounds really good, but I do have a large estate of vendor X at my WAN edge in my stores. Can Versa help me deploy SSE, connect in that legacy WAN edge estate I currently have, and then as I do new store openings and appliance refresh in my estate, I'll move to Versa for SD-WAN. But do we do a good job of supporting non-Versa devices in the stores connecting to Versa SSE gateways, and what does that look like?
Yeah, so definitely, given realities on the ground, we always work in a brownfield environment, right? So it is very rare that you'll deploy this in a greenfield environment. So in any brownfield environment, there might be other vendors, other SSC providers that user might have today. So we are cognizant of that fact, and then we basically make it easy from this portal to basically do that integration while we are transitioning to all Versa unified SASE fabric, right? So there are we do support all of these that you see on the screen is supported by APIs. So any integration you want, we can do basically, like creating site-to-site tunnels to some, gateway that is some other vendor's gateway or something. All of this can driven by APIs. So if you need to build site-to-site tunnels from your branch to other vendors as a gateway, that is all supported through either API call or some automation that we can bring on board to make that easy. Right, and that is also dynamic. We do support IPSLA and BFT like parameters and all the routing protocols you can name, BGP, OSPF, REAP, or whatever. Right, so we can build tunnels over GRE, over IPsec, with all the secure encryption that you need in an automated fashion, and then run routing protocols on top of that if needed, and do monitoring of the tunnel liveliness and all of that. Yeah.
Super. Yeah, I agree. And I tend to think if you are a large retailer with a large estate of, let's say, Meraki WAN Edge or Velo WAN Edge or legacy Cisco routers or legacy Juniper, the Versa team not only has the kind of technology in terms of networking and security and SD-WAN and SSE and SASE and multi-cloud to technically do all this, but also the professional services team is really world-class and the automation team is world-class. If you want our help on a big transformation project like that, we do that very, very well. So that's really in our wheelhouse. Big, complex projects in large retailers with thousands of sites is something we do very, very well. So we welcome that opportunity. Before I wrap up, any closing comments from you, Bhuyan?
The only thing I would say is, you can definitely try Versa SASE and see, how good we are.
Yeah, I completely agree. So if anyone's interested in a deeper dive on this solution with Versa technical leadership, or if anyone wants to do a POC or a pilot, we're happy to do that. Just let us know. And we really feel this is a great solution for large retail. And as you look at the to-be state for the retail estate for SD-WAN, WAN Edge, SSE, SASE, we think we have a very strong value proposition, and we think you should give us a consideration. So thanks a bunch. Have a great day. We're going to send you an email with a copy of the meeting recording, the presentation in PDF, and an offer for a trial. So thanks a bunch. Have a great day. Bye-bye.